Hello, I'm attorney Thomas Burton, and welcome back to our popular question and answer series. Today's question comes from Brillion, Wisconsin, and the writer asks the following: Who could possibly be my custodian for my account for my trust fund? I have an Oppenheimer trust fund, and the problem is the head person of the account, my great-grandma, is deceased. My other grandma is not competent to be my custodian. My mom and dad have passed away, and I really have no family besides my husband. Is it possible he could be my custodian of the account? Otherwise, I have to wait till I'm 21, but I was planning on using this money for schooling. So first of all, I'm very sorry to hear about your grandmother passing away. And if there's this type of trust fund set up, it sounds like Oppenheimer has the funds, and maybe your grandma set it up there, or perhaps it's a custodial account for education. I'm not sure, but if your grandmother passed away and there was no successor trustee named in the trust document, you can likely petition the court to have a successor trustee appointed. However, if you're a minor, if you're still under age 18, then your legal guardian will likely need to bring this petition for you. So if there's a trust document, first I would check the trust to see if it says who should take over as trustee. And if there's no successor, sometimes the document itself will say the beneficiaries can vote to appoint a successor or something like that. So check the trust document first before you spend the time and expense on a court proceeding. But if there's nothing in the trust document, then you might need to petition the court to get a successor appointed. If there's no trust document at all, then maybe this is an account under the Uniform Transfer to Minors Act, sometimes called UTMA, and the person appointed was a simple custodian on the account. If that's the case, I would check directly with Oppenheimer funds to see what they need for someone to take over management of the account. I know likely for sure it needs to be an adult over age 18, but they may have a specific process that's less complicated than going to court. Finally, if you have no relative or friend who's able to serve, you could hire an independent trust company to act as trustee, and they would do it for a fee, generally based on the amount of assets in the account. But the good thing is they would do it very professionally because that's their job. They do it all the time, and this is what's called a corporate trustee. So you could get someone like a bank with a trust company, a trust department, appointed to serve as trustee of the trust until you reach the age of majority or the age set in the trust document. So an independent trustee might be your best option in this case. It again will depend on what the trust document says and the amount of assets in the trust, whether that makes sense for you. But for others watching, always be aware that while it's common to name a friend or relative as trustee of your trust, you don't have to do so. You can use an independent trustee like a trust company. And sometimes this can be better because they hire trust administrators whose job is to know the Wisconsin Trust Code and administer trusts all the time. And they can often do things efficiently and effectively on your behalf after you're gone. So if it's important for you to set up a trust that's professionally managed and held for minors after you're gone, you might want to consider using an independent trust company. Or at least what I like to recommend is if you want to name a friend or relative as primary trustee, but then you don't have a great name for a backup, consider naming the trust company as successor trustee, because if something should ever happen to your primary trustee and you never updated your trust, the trust company will likely be around to take care of it because they are not just one person, they're a company. And so even if someone leaves the company, there's more people there working after that person leaves, and there would generally always be someone around after you're gone. So that's a little information on how trusts work and what you can do if you're a minor and need a new successor trustee. Great question. Thank you for asking. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.